Hey y'all! Happy Saturday! Happy Easter Saturday! May everybody have a blessed day tomorrow. May the kids have fun and be careful with the eggs that you eat. It may not end well. Well, I'm up just having a little drinky drink. Just was I watched some good movies earlier. And I do want to do a review on Primate. It didn't end up as good as I had hoped, but we'll talk about that later. So I got a little peek at Chris Brown's tour and the fact that, as always, he invited a woman up on the stage during a particular song, had her in a chair. They were very sensual in moves. Of course, he hopped on top of her, grinding while singing, as he's done several albums in the past. And then she kissed him. He was stunned, he was shocked, he pulled back as if to peep her out one more time. And then he leaned in and they locked lips. They locked tongues. They locked faces. Oh, did I just happen to mention that her husband was right there on the front row, leaning on the gate, shaking his head in disbelief? Who was in the wrong? Was Chris in the wrong, or was the young lady in the wrong? Now, we're not picking on Chris. We're not picking on Chris. We're gonna talk about a few other people that tried to do the kissing thing. If y'all remember, once upon a time, ASAP had Rihanna up on the stage, right? Or I guess I should say Rihanna had ASAP up on the stage back in the day when they were still just friends. And he grabbed her by the buttocks and pulled her in and tried to give her a little licky lick. And she pushed him away and walked off and continued to sing whoop, 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 whoop like it wasn't nothing to it, but everybody was watching. Let's talk about NBA Youngboy, shall we? NBA Youngboy and his wife Jaslyn and Yaya Mayweather and many of his other baby mamas and the White Country Singer and all of the girls, they've all been on the internet in NBA's chaos, right? I hear people question whether he really married Jaslyn, like got a marriage certificate in the whole 9 yards, or did he just started calling her his wife, bought her the ring, and they just walking the walk and not really handling business? We don't know because I don't care and I didn't look into it, but I will go on to say it is now being reported that NBA has a new mistress. Hmm. Yeah, this mistress apparently was a good friend, a good rider, a good ace boon coon to one of his other baby mamas. So, with that being said, homegirl been around. She been in the picture. She's been in the know, right? She know most of the baby mamas and probably the kids and all of the things and what he do and what he woo woo woo. But bitch, now you sleeping with him? Like, we're not going to even talk about how that breaks girl code. We we ain't gonna even get into that part. But the fact of the matter is, the internet is now claiming her as his mistress, and they have images. They have pictures of them together. And two of them that I saw was he was leaning between her legs and she had her arms over his shoulders and they was posing. And I just thought, okay. Now apparently they say Jaslyn done spoke out, but what was interesting, it was clickbait because I still ain't heard what Jaslyn done supposedly said. But it is being alleged that she is considering walking away. Now, listen, um, when you got a man claiming you as his wife, he taking care of you and your kids, as well as all of the kids he done had before you and during you. it can sometimes make it a little hard for a person to leave, right? Because that's where they bread is buttered. They don't have to worry about nothing. They straight. She's at every show. You know, she's very laid back. She is really not interested in being in the spotlight. She loves NBA, and she just wants to be in his corner and have his back. And I can respect that. Um, the problem is this: what I read years ago made me believe they truly had signed a marriage license. So I have not gone back to recheck those facts because those receipts are probably on the portable thingamajigam that where I downloaded and tried to clean my computer. I have not went back to check, but here's the deal: if they truly did sign a marriage license, and they truly did submit it to the courts, and they truly are married, meaning she is wearing his last name, well, the receipts that I got said wasn't no prenup involved, right? So now, here's where the question gets sticky. If she decides to leave him because he's a hoe, we just gonna call it what it is, and she decided to walk away, and she decided to snap that whip and get half of that money, where does that put the kids in terms of a relationship with their daddy? Because we already know he gonna be pissed off because she finna reach back and take half your shit because you ain't got no prenup, and this is all alleged. This is strictly for entertainment, but we talking about it. That's gonna make him sour. That's gonna make him vindictive. Why would I say that? Because I just looked at Yaya Mayweather and one of the other baby mamas talk about how Yaya was talking about how he done jumped up and bought the white girl, the country girl, a whole horse, done delivered it to her and everything. But she said he ain't bought a gift for his child, who is now 5 years old, in the 5 years he been on earth. She said he don't spend no time with him. He ain't done nothing for him. He ain't took care of her. He not paying her no child support. He's not doing anything. So when I say vindictive, I would say I would suspect the reason he's not doing anything is because he's very upset and disappointed with how Yaya was treating him and how she was stuck to his thing so tough the way she was running around causing problems, putting it out there that they were still messing around, tearing up shit, breaking shit, all of the things. And I'm sure he didn't like that. I'm sure it caused some kind of a ruckus in his house. So that does tend to make men not want to do the right thing. I'm not saying he was right. I'm not saying she was right. What I'm saying is that if you done brought a kid in the world, you have a responsibility to help take care of that child. So I say all that to say NBA young boy is really not the dude you would want to have a baby back because he's a deadbeat. He's rich, but he's a deadbeat because if he ain't doing nothing for the child, he's a deadbeat. But I wish I could tell Yaya God is good because Floyd is being the man in little baby Mayweather's life, teaching him how to be a man, keeping him on the straight and narrow, guiding him and forming him. And I want to say in his image because I remember when he was 3 years old, Floyd had gave him boxing gloves and he was showing him how to box and teaching him and grooming him and spending time with him and spending millions of dollars on birthday parties when the little boy couldn't speak, walk, or use the bathroom. So, she should be grateful on that end that her dad is there to take care of him. But on the flip side, is I'm going to save for another video, Mayweather said he about to cut Yaya off because she ain't trying to do shit. She ain't trying to work. She ain't trying to go to school. She ain't trying to better herself. She just want to spend his money. And while Mayweather may be able to read the cat jumped over the fence, I don't think he is feeling Yaya doing the right thing by baby Mayweather in terms of helping him read, count, learn his alphabet, learn their phone numbers, learn their things like that. I could see him depending on her to teach him because he can't, right? We know Floyd is a little deficient when it comes to the literacy side of things. We know he waited to get a million. He waited to become a millionaire before he learned how to read. But hey, he can read. He can read. He can do a little something, something. I don't think it's that good, but he can do a little something, something, right? And I would think he has a financial accountant that can help him. But in terms of Yaya Floyd time, I cut her off. But let's go back to the celebrities and kissing on the married women. So I ran across Chris, and he then kissed this black woman. She's married. She's a cutie. Her husband's cutie. He's sexy. And it was all over the internet. They didn't identify her, the husband, all of the things. My question is, who is in the wrong? Who is in the wrong? Was she in the wrong for pulling him in and initiating the kiss? And probably getting his Johnson woken up, so he was like, fuck it, let me go on and lean in and give her what she really came up here to get. And just locking tongues and just tonguing and slobbing all up. Who was really in the wrong? Now, for me, um, before I give my opinion on who I think was in the wrong, let me say this. First of all, anytime you go to a comedy show, a concert, a tour, a fashion, anytime you go to a function like that, it is an experience. It is an adventure. And you go to have fun, enjoy yourself, learn some things, and may be able to buy some things. Find something you like and spend some money, or find somebody you want to support and buy something to support their business. Whatever the case may be. So, in terms of her kissing him and she's married, on the flip side, hell, he was right there. So I can't blame her for kissing Chris because her husband was there. It wasn't like he was at the house and he don't know and he had to find out by his boys or he had to find out on the internet. He was right there looking, shaking his head in disbelief. Now, Chris, on the other hand, Chris has kissed a lot of women. He done put his hands on women. He done put his foots on women. He'd be running around putting shit on women. But I'm going to say this. As a celebrity, he should know better because it's so much shit going around, floating around out here in the world. You have to be careful. These days, you can get something from kissing a bitch on the forehead, letting alone putting your tongue in her mouth. Right? And God forbid, where's his tongue done been? So I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the celebrity is in the wrong. Because the men these days, they're turned on by big booty. Big titties, flat stomach, big booty. Everybody like the Judy with the same body type. Everybody running around raw dogging. Well, how would you know, BBK? Because hell, every time somebody open their legs, they close them up and be pregnant. So you can't get pregnant on a rubber. That means you've been raw dogged. So with that being said, I would think a celebrity would want to take better care of themselves and refrain from something as small as tongue kissing someone you don't know anything about, and then later getting into a relationship with someone that you want to build a family with, and you don't know if you done caught something and you passing something or what. I can't fault her. It was an experience going to the concert. It was an experience getting called up on stage. And for the experience, you are supposed to be enjoying yourself and you're supposed to go with the vibes. You're supposed to go with the flow. And that's what she was doing. So I can't be mad at her. Her husband was there. So, and whether he was there or not, again, it was an experience. But the fact that he was there for me, it lessens the guiltiness of it. I don't blame her. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But celebrities have to be more careful. And see what a lot of people, let me have a drink because I am drinking. I am. Celebrities just have to be more careful. Now, what a lot of people don't know is that a lot of celebrities, actors, actresses, comedians, they have insurance for their true money maker. For instance, um, Rihanna has insurance on her legs, like quite a few people. like Jennifer Lopez, right? Julia Roberts has insurance on her lips and teeth. Um, you know, guitar players may have insurance on their hands or their fingers. That's to, you know what I'm saying, protect their money maker. So I don't really know what Chris's money maker would be. I would presume his legs because he dances really really well. But I mean I don't know. Um, NBA young boy, he out here just giving it out. You know what I'm saying? He ain't by himself. He ain't the only one. And it's some people that just don't have any control. They can't help themselves. But I say, it's one thing to be out here humping on everything with a hole. It's a different thing if you humping with protection. At least you care enough about yourself that you don't want to catch something from sleeping with all of these women who sleeping with all of the men, all of the baseball players, all the basketball players, all the football players, all the soccer players, all of the rappers, all of the R&B. Like they out here just giving it out because everybody wants some diamonds, everybody want a nice car, everybody wants some thousands in the bank, everybody want to get their booty done, their tits done, their stomach done. And y'all heard Glorilla says she ain't pregnant. Mm-hmm. The people trying to pass it out, talking about, oh yeah, Glorilla making pictures, girl. Wait a minute, let me backtrack. Let me get back on track because I girl. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna fuck the celebrities. I think they should have some type of control about themselves. You know, if this had been happened prior to Kool Aid, I'd probably put it on the individual and not the celebrities. But the fact that the Kool Aid came through monkeypox, lizard pox, snake pox, rat pox, coon pox, all this shit floating around, people got to be more careful. And if a comedian, or excuse me, if a rapper or comedian, a singer, or whatever, doesn't think enough of themselves to keep their own health in check, then the women that are at home waiting on them to come home and lay down with them, they not thinking about their health neither. They not thinking about the health of any kids that they may bring into the world either. Cause see, I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of shit in them files. This shit y'all wouldn't even imagine. And a topic of discussion has been about autism and childhood vaccinations and how they're linked together. Hmm. So, you know, it was something that I saw and I definitely wanted to talk about it. Now, hang on, let me look through my cheat sheet because there was some stuff I sent to myself that I wanted to talk about. So let me take a peek. Okay, let's talk about Nissans. Let's talk about cars and snitching and whatnot. So, oh, hang on, let me see. I don't think this is going to give it to me. No, it didn't give it to me. Let me see how I can look at it. Hold on. Oh, continue on the wheel. Okay. So the word on the curb is your car is legally recording your sexual activity. And it's saying if you drive a Nissan, for example, you need to read the fine print. The Mozilla Foundation analyzed the privacy policies of 25 major car brands. Every single one of them failed, but Nissan was the worst. Now, they found this exact test in Nissan's privacy policy, and it states that, hang on, my thing then got blocked. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, here we go. It explicitly reserved the right to collect your quote unquote health diagnosis, your genetic data, and yes, specifically your sexual activity. Now, how do they do it? It's not magic, it's logic. They use weight sensors in the passenger seats, cabin microphones, and data scraped from your connected cell phone. because now you got smartphones, smart TVs, smart cars, smart computers, everything smart and everything talking to each other. So every time you jump in the car, y'all done paired the car, the Bluetooth to the Bluetooth in the car. Now y'all can talk on the radio, on the TV, through the steering wheel and everything else. Okay, well the phone in the car, they talking to each other even when you're not. And the worst part, they said a report confirms that 76% of these car companies say that they can legally sell your intimate data to third parties. Well, bitch, you didn't buy a car. You bought a $40,000 snitch. Ain't that some shit? So, we're talking about insurance companies, advertisers, data brokers. You got a rolling surveillance device. And we know that the cars is talking because every time you go somewhere, somebody in the alphabet community can ping and see everywhere you've been by checking your car, checking your phone, pinging the towers. They can literally track and follow and monitor and all of that. And listen, this is not science fiction. This is just something that has been in place for a while. Something that a lot of people didn't tell us about, don't talk about, and things that we didn't know. Let's see. What else we got? I don't want to talk about them fighting and going on. But I do want to bring a little something to you real quick. So there is some documents that talk about Barack. And if you remember when they dug up his social security card and his birth certificate and all of the things, it was saying how he was born in Kenya and who his parents was and all of the things. These documents can be found in the files, by the way. The conspiracy theorists have come up with an explanation that they linked John Paul Ludwig's information to Barack. Social security number was originally assigned to John Paul. John Paul was a French-born immigrant who came to the U.S. in 1924. And apparently in March of 1977, they passed it on to Barack. But yeah, we got a couple of names that's out there for Barack. There's been a lot of digging into him. And a lot of that stuff the digging came from the files and stuff that they found. Let's see. I have been seeing a lot of cute braiding styles on social media. I'm tender-headed, so I can't really wear braids, or maybe y'all call them cornrows. Um, I can't do it. It is too painful, but I'm definitely considering trying some. Um, Generators have come down, so you can get generators now for a little or nothing. Um, I'm definitely planning on taking a trip to Dodger Stadium to see a baseball game. Um, I've only been there once before. I went with somebody else. It was a unique experience, and I'm definitely wanting to go back. And I want to kind of follow that same experience. I want to, go halfway, jump on the train, and go the rest of the way. Go in and get white girl wasted, enjoy the game, and come on out and stumble back to the train and roll on back to the house. But yeah. Um, Make sure when you guys go to the Easter egg hunt tomorrow that you're checking the eggs that your kids are opening. I've seen several invitations to adult Easter egg hunts, And trust me, eggs and candy is not what was inside those eggs, okay? It's gonna be some blazing in the air with them eggs. So y'all make sure y'all monitoring those eggs before you let your kids open them. We got to make sure to keep them. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we keep them straight. Um, I am thinking about going up to the Temu store. See, I found out we got a Temu warehouse up here in California. You ain't gotta, if you order online, I think online it may be coming there at one point in time. It was coming from over there in China. But now with customs and tariffs and the Strait of Hormuz closed and all of the things, maybe they can't get it from there. And that's something I thought about when I found out we had a Temu. I said, wait a minute. If we got a Temu in California and it's been here for a year, almost a year, y'all must knew something that we didn't know. Y'all must have knew this was coming. And like I said once before, I think the Three Stooges is playing on our intelligence. They faking the funk like they really fighting each other when they really working together. And this whole thing is a plan, but I digress. Um, Credit Union. What is the name of this credit union? Langley Federal Credit Union. Apparently, is giving anyone $40,000 for setting up a direct deposit. They're claiming that this credit union is better than Navy Federal. Now, here are a few things that you do need to know before you apply. Membership is nationwide. You don't need a military affiliation to join. Opening a membership savings account usually only requires a $5 deposit. Joining typically does not trigger a hard inquiry, but they may review your check systems report. When applying for credit products, Langley primarily pulls Equifax, so that bureau matters the most. They offer credit cards for multiple credit tiers, including people rebuilding their credit. And for you to build a relationship with them would include you having direct deposit, active accounts, and having those things can improve your odds of getting approved. Credit unions are better than banks. Um, so I would highly recommend, if you're not involved or working with a credit union, that you get set up. Definitely can be beneficial. Um, let's see. What else? Mm, and I think that I want to do a segment on relationships, um, talking about infidelity, commitment, boundaries, what you're looking for, what you expect in a relationship, and what you expect to give. Um, yeah, but I think I'm gonna get somebody and bring them on and let them help us with that. Boy, I tell you, it's something else. So anyway, I ain't want shit. I can't even cut on no music and attempt to start a little party situation because I'm already on my second bottle. So I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to let that one ride on another night. So all right, y'all. I just wanted to come on here and talk a little shit about Chris and friends. But I'll talk to you later.